Okay, this is question 15 on the higher calculator paper. The question says PQR and PTS are straight lines. So PQR and PTS are straight lines. Angle PTQ, so PTQ and PSR are 90 degrees. So they've actually shown us this. So I can see all of that information on the diagram. QT is 4 centimeters. RS is 12 centimeters and TS is 10 centimeters. All of that information is on the diagram, and it is actually pretty straightforward to see, to get, and to understand. The next part of the question, however, says work out the area of the trapezium QRST. So QRST. So it's this trapezium here that they want us to work out the area of. Now, on your higher paper, on the formula sheet, you are given some formulas, and one of the other formulas you're given is the area of a trapezium, and here it is. The area for trapezium is a half A plus B in brackets times H, and A and B are the parallel sides. Okay, so A and B are the parallel sides, and H is the distance between them. Now, you could refer back to this as you're doing the paper. Right, it's a formula that you should be familiar with, but I'm going to write that down to begin with. So I'm going to write down area is equal to a half A plus B times H. Now A and B are the parallel sides, and in this case those two are the parallel sides, 4 and 12. So it's going to be a half times 4 plus 12, and then I'm going to times that by H, which is the height, but it's the distance between the parallel sides. And in this case, it's that 10 there. That's the distance between the parallel sides. So I now need to work this out. I'm going to do the brackets first. A half times 4 times 12. Sorry, 4 add 12 is 16, and then I'm going to times by 10. A half of 16 is 8. 8 times 10. So I've just worked out a half of 16, and I've got 8 for that. 8 times 10 is 80. 80 centimeters squared is my final result for this question. This is a pretty straightforward question. The formula is given to you, right? You should be able to see it, and it should be something that you can do and you've seen before. Going on to part B, this is a bit more challenging. Now, I'm going to move the paper up a bit so that I can actually show you the part B. Let's go look at this. Okay, in part B, the question simply says, work out the length of PT. Work out the length of PT. So I think we need to remember that a bit, and let's look at the diagram itself. So here's the diagram, and they want us to work out the distance from P to T, this distance over here. Okay, one of the things that you need to be aware of is that these two triangles, PQT, so that small triangle there, and the very large triangle, they are known as similar triangles. What they are is all the angles, all three angles are exactly the same, and the sides are in proportion to each other, so they're similar. And if we think about these numbers, so the number 4, which represents QT, and the number 12, which is the length of RS, those two sides are corresponding sides. They're sort of similar sides in the shapes, which are, one is a smaller version of the other. So one of the things that you should be able to recognize by sight is that the multiplier from 4 to get to 12 is 3. So the bigger triangle is 3 times the size of the smaller triangle. So whatever the size of PT is, if I call that X, then 3 times that would be the distance all the way across. And 3 times X is 3X. Okay, so as we did here, 4 times 3 is 12. So this side here, times it up by 3 would give you the length of the larger side. So what that means is that this side here, PT, if I times that by 3, I'll get the length of this whole side all the way across. But one of the things that I want you to recognize is on this part of the 3x, from here to here, that's x. So that means that this bit left behind, so the same distance as the 10x, it's going to be 3x take away x, which is 2x. So the workings I'm just going to show down here, right? And this is pretty straightforward. And if you're doing it on your question paper, you should be able to see this. But that's 3x. If I take away x, that just leaves me 2x. And we could see that that distance, 2x, is the same as 10. So what that tells me is that x must be 5. And remember, we said that x was the length of PT. So that means PT is going to be 5 centimeters. And that's what I put into my answer space. And that's my 3 marks. And although I've drawn around the diagram, the examiner will give you credit for that. And you should be able to get full marks with all the information that you've seen here. This is a popular type of exam question. Make sure you look at it a couple of times. Make sure you understand what's done. Make sure you can do it and get full marks if you get one like it.